Hello and welcome back to the studio. I'm Stacy Hall, the host of the Lighthouse Path podcast, where we chat with experts about how they shine their light to be able to guide their ideal audience to them for all the answers those audience members are looking for. Because here we make sure that we're not chasing them, we're standing still and we're guiding them in so that they feel safe and secure. And nobody does that better than the guest I have for you today. And I'm going to say this was a big get for me and for the audience here is Norbert Orlewicz, known by one and all as a marketing clarity architect. Like anybody can talk to you about creating content, but it is so much deeper, wider, and bigger than just handing your mission and purpose to an AI chatbot, if you will, and saying, give me something. In Norbert's case, he actually knows how to prompt. And it's that sounds like, okay, how do I say it? Oh, no. It requires an architect to be able to receive back what Norbert is able to provide and give to you about your audience and about you and about the direction of your company. I could be doing the interview for him because I'm so enamored, but let me go on and tell you that he is the co-founder of Digital Mentors, where he helps coaches and consultants build simple, profitable client acquisition systems, right? And he's got more than 20 years of direct response expertise with these cutting edge AI tools that he's developed. And that gives entrepreneurs the opportunity to bring firepower to their projects. And he lives by the principle that simplicity always wins. And that simplicity has produced more than $60 million in sales. Norbert, thank you for stepping away from everything else you've got going today to come into the studio with me.
My pleasure, Stacy. Always a treat to hang out and chat with you and just share with your audience as well. So excited for this interview. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, we're going to start with, why is your number one principle simplicity wins?
Because it's probably one of my biggest challenges, to be perfectly honest. And actually, that's something that I've discovered, kind of an off-topic curiosity thing, something that I've discovered with a lot of coaches, working with thousands of coaches over the last couple of decades, is I notice that a lot of coaches, the thing that they're most passionate about teaching is actually many times their biggest challenge as well. It's the thing that they work on themselves as well. And for me, I teach simplicity and focus, and simplicity and focus is my biggest challenge because I'm an ideas person. I'm a creator. I've got a little bit of ADD. And so I'm constantly coming up with ideas. I can very easily complicate things because I'm seeing 20 steps ahead in time, and I have to pull myself back. And it's a discipline to pull myself back and stay in the present moment and focus on the next steps while holding the vision of where we're going into the future. And I know what a challenge that is. I know what kind of discipline it takes. And I see that most of us coaches, online entrepreneurs, sales professionals, it's a big challenge for all of us as well. And so especially in the early stages of our business, we got to focus on simplicity.
Yeah. At all stages, because we know
Really.
Confusion creates no's, right? If a confused mind will always say no. And what I have seen, and as well, the reason I know Norbert, to be the interest of full disclosure, Norbert has mentored me for many years, which is why I know his brilliance. That's what you saved me from, was how do I get all this in? How do I get it all in? And you're like, no, throw that out, throw that out, throw that out. We start here. And I love your website. It's just /start, because it is simple and yay. So when I talked earlier, when I introduced Norbert and said he knows how to go into the depths of what is required for marketing, he then also knows how to pull back and take out the one thing that our audience is wanting us to say. It's absolutely brilliant. So, Norbert, I'm going to go into your past a little bit. Why marketing? Why was this the thing you decided you were going to put your attention and focus on?
I stumbled into it. I honestly fell into it. My sister, funny enough, she went the corporate route after high school. She went to university, got her marketing degree, and she got hired to do marketing for companies and moved up the ladder and has had some really amazing jobs. Has worked with some pretty big clients. And it's always fascinating having conversations with her today because we can talk about the same things, but just in very different industries and very different approaches. I've never worked with like big marketing teams and big ad budgets and all that kind of stuff. So it's really fascinating to talk with her. But I fell into it. I'm a theater school dropout and a snowboard bum. My early 20s, I was just trying to figure out what to do with my life, working service jobs, enjoying my life, snowboarding, and then realizing, man, I got to get serious here and find a way to make money. And I got introduced to the network marketing industry. That was sort of my gateway drug into entrepreneurship. But I've always had a passion for entrepreneurship. I think I've always had an entrepreneurial mind, that creative piece of me. And so in network marketing, I learned networking skills, presentation skills, communication skills, and sales skills. But I always hated like chasing after people and trying to convince people and trying to sell people and all the stuff that, that you deal with and that you help clients with. And then I discovered attraction marketing, which you're kind of like one of the founders of, which you got started with initially with your early books, which is now obviously translated into the Lighthouse path. And I got introduced to attraction marketing and direct response marketing. And that was the breakthrough for me because I realized that the reason I was dealing with all of these uncomfortable sales conversations is because I had a marketing problem. I was talking with the wrong people. I wasn't attracting and bringing in the right people into my space and into my conversations and through my marketing funnels. And that's where I discovered that I had a talent and a knack for marketing, for communications, for understanding human psychology, all these things that I'm really fascinated about. I've got these little passions about world religions and world cultures and world history and human psychology. I've studied all those things in my 20s and 30s as well. I love the personal growth space. I love learning about NLP and all of these types of things. And all of that feeds so beautifully into the craft of marketing. So I get to be creative. I get to be an artist. And I get to play around with human psychology and communication and messaging. So it's just kind of a natural thing that luckily I just fell into.
Yeah, and so to the audience, see what I'm talking about? The depth, the width, all of it goes into what he programs, and what comes out is brilliance. Truly, that is, it can't be matched by any place or anyone that I have ever seen. So, being that we're all about shining the light on, yes, our prospective clients, but especially when they become clients, how do you make sure that your clients, because again, I could do this interview for you having been on the receiving end, but I think they would rather hear it from you. What is your guiding principle regarding taking care of your clients?
I don't know if it's a principle or if it's just a personality trait, but I have this relentless pursuit of excellence and solving problems. So I never quit. I'm never satisfied. I'm never happy with what we have because I always know that there's more. There's always a better way. It's that pursuit of a better way. This came through one of my personality profiles in the Y operating system. I like to make sense of things. And so when I look at the challenges and the solutions that are provided in the marketplace, I'm always trying to think, well, is there a better way? Is there an easier way? Is there a simpler way? Is there a better path? And so that relentless pursuit leads me to always come up with new and better solutions and options and ideas and improvements for the clients that I serve. I really look at it as a journey. Um, I don't really believe in quick fixes. Yeah, we can give you some quick fixes. There are some quick fixes that you can make for your business. But the reality of this is entrepreneurship is a journey. And I really am interested in the people who are in this for the journey. I love the clients that we've been able to work with in different iterations over the years. We have clients literally that we have been working with for over 10 years, 15 years, some clients in different capacities over the years. But watching them develop, watching their entrepreneurial journeys unfold, watching them grow, develop their skills, watching their brands grow and develop and their audiences grow. I mean, it's just fascinating. I love it. I'm so passionate about it. And I love watching people succeed.
Yeah, and I attest he does. And as always, it's like you're. I want to be careful because some people might think that, well, if I work with Norbert, that means I'm working for years and will I have the money? But what I'm going to say to everybody here is he takes projects into timelines, so to speak. Then, if you want to go further in the journey, that's completely up to you. And that's what I like about you so much is you're talking about you here and how what you like. But that doesn't come through when you're working with me or your other clients. Your focus on us is actually unrelenting, if you would.
Mm,
Like
mm,
and it's interesting to me how you do get yourself out of the way. And then it's like, okay, let's get into this project. What are you working on? Where do you want to go? And then you bring your expertise. And if you don't have it in that area, then you go research. So again, here I am doing the interview for you, but I wanted to clarify that for the audience because it could sound like, oh, if I call him, I'm in for years. Oh, I'm just going to say not necessarily, but probably because you're going to want to be. All right. With that said, what do you think is the biggest mistake in client relationships, building them, maintaining them? Because you do have a bird's eye view from a lot of different types of industries and business owners. What is one mistake you see them making over and over again that's costing them long-term client relationships?
Well, what comes to me is probably the challenge or the flaw that most of us just have as humans, balancing short-term thinking with long-term approach and long-term thinking, right? So, in this, it's nothing wrong, but it's just the way that we typically we approach business on a very transactional level. And many of us are looking for, and the fact that you even had to share that caveat, that disclaimer of, oh, hey, don't get too intimidated. If it's, you're going to be working with him for years, he can help you get results much quicker. The fact that you had to share that disclaimer goes to exactly my point. What I'm saying is most people want quicker results and they're not fully committed to the long-term journey. So I was working with another marketing specialist. She's been a marketing specialist now for 15, 16 years. Again, a veteran, that's very experienced. And she just threw out something really quickly as she was teaching on one of our workshops. She was just saying the fact that, if it's your first, second, or third year in your business, you're probably still just figuring out your messaging and your offer and your funnels and your acquisition strategy and blah, blah, blah. And she just went on and she just kind of dropped that there for the room. And I had to stop her. And I just said, I want you guys just to hear what she said. Again, coming from somebody 16 years. If you're in your first couple of years, you're just refining your message and your offers and getting clear on it. And this is the whole big problem. I just read another post from Alex Sanfilippo, the founder of Podmatch, celebrating his 6-year anniversary from the day he started Podmatch. 6 years. Now, Podmatch is a really pretty successful business, tens of thousands of members. It's really well known today. And if he asked me, when do you think I started it? And I saw what he's built today, I would have never said 6 years. I thought maybe it was a 2 or 3 year project. But it's been 6 years to get him here. to where he is, to finally having the success and the growth that I'm sure he imagined when he started 6 years. And so this approach, you must have that long-term approach to your business and to your clients. These are not short-term relationships. They will start as short-term relationships, right? If you go to my website, norbertonline.com/start, you're going to go through a very short engagement to receive an audit. There's no long conversations. We're not going to be talking for hours. You're going to fill out a short form and you're going to get this amazing report back. Okay. It's a short interaction. It's transactional, but that's not my approach with it. I developed it to start the conversation that I hope to continue with you through the funnel if you continue through the funnel. It's a longer term conversation. And so we have to balance our short-term transactional mentality to get the short-term tasks done, to accomplish short-term goals, with that long-term vision, understanding that we're building long-term relationships and a long-term business plan.
Yes. And that's really what I've always said is once our clients trust us, they really see us as a one-stop shop for everything, right? Like it isn't, they come to us for a thing, but if we have the sense of, I'm in your corner for a long time to come, as that trust gets built over time, which hopefully it does, because if the trust is there, they will stay. Then they start coming to us about other things. Not that we're the experts in other things, but we may know people that are experts in other things, and it saves them time as well to not have to go out and search and trial and error. So I have always said marketing is nothing more and nothing less than building relationships. And this is what you described. That's it. It's a transaction is a one-time thing, maybe a two-time thing, maybe an every once in a while thing. But a relationship is friendship. And the days of you're not allowed to be friends with your clients is long gone. But Norbert, I just literally on LinkedIn, I'm still laughing what happened right before we got on the interview. Okay. This is a VP of sales, not connected to you or I, brand new person, sends me a connection request. Must have read one of my posts where I talk about do not start spamming right away. Go and find out something about the person. So his first message to me was, I'm about to jump on a call, but I'll come back after I've had a chance to look at your profile and I'll be back with a more intelligent question. Okay, I'm good. That's nice. Do you know what he comes back with? Because he's all about LinkedIn. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what he came back with?
Yeah.
Not a question about something I wrote, not a question about my profile. Hey, after looking at your profile, I'm wondering, do you use LinkedIn? Now, remember, I'm on LinkedIn. This where we're communicating. Do you use LinkedIn for building your business? I'm like, you are kidding me now, right? That you had to go away, look at my profile, come back, and did you forget where you are? And I'm screeching at the moment because I cannot believe that this is how people act and then expect long-term relationships to come from that. And come on, Norbert, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean it's a simple example, and I want to say it's a simple mistake, and yet it's just so obvious and such a bad mistake. And that's just so clear about how quick. I mean, we've all made mistakes. Like I use automation tools as well, right? As much as I believe in relationships and connection as well, I'm also an entrepreneur, and I love tools. I love automation, and I love leverage, and I love my free time. Okay, so I want to protect my time. So I don't do a lot of calls. I don't get on calls with people unless they're my clients. That's the way that I protect my time. So I use assets and I use automation. And I've had one automation that wasn't programmed properly and it sent a bad message. But what we have done, and it created a bad response as well. And, it happens. It happens. But man, we got to do better. We got to do better. Like, that's just such a amateur question to ask in that position. And I, in a sense, I kind of hope that you kind of pushed back on it and told him he
Don't
needs somebody to tell him. He needs somebody to let him know, like, that is not the question you should be asking on LinkedIn, because we're all there to grow our business. I mean, unless you're an employee and then you're using it for, resumes and jobs and networking and stuff. But if I'm an entrepreneur or a founder or a coach, of course I'm there to build my
Yeah, yeah, you know me. I held back. I was kind. I made my point. Is this is not how you build a relationship. This is spam.
This is how you kill a relationship.
That's right.
Immediately.
And
Yeah.
I'm now not a prospect for you.
Yeah.
Is what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Done. One and done. And that's how, unfortunately, and we're not just talking in network marketing where it runs rampant because they're
Yeah.
still being taught those kinds of techniques. I'm talking about in just about every industry on LinkedIn where somebody is using LinkedIn to make a connection, whether they're doing it with a free account or a paid account, they are not thinking about how they want to be seen.
Mm.
They're not. How
Mhm.
they want to be seen, that would lead to a long relationship. It
Yeah.
is, let me get in right now. Are you ready to buy? 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 And that, my friends, is not marketing. So, Norbert, closing off, what is marketing in your opinion?
Ah, man, there's so many ways to talk about marketing. The way, I guess, in simplest terms, to me, marketing is a conversation and an emotional connection with a human being. That's what marketing is to me. All the tools and automations and ads and content that we create and assets that we create and we use to build funnels and move people through these different steps and processes, all of that is moving them through a conversation, right? The 3 stages of the customer journey, there's 5, but let's just talk about the first 3: attention, consideration, acquisition, right? Those are 3 stages of the conversation that you're having with them, right? Getting their attention, earning their interest, building the relationship, building trust and credibility so that you can have the enrollment conversation, right? 3 very simple steps, but all of that is a conversation. That's really all marketing is moving people through this conversation that you're having with them. Whether it's one-on-one or one-to-many, it's still a conversation.
That's exactly. Now, in closing, you mentioned an audit. That's what this website is going to lead people to. Do you want to explain it before we close off?
Yeah, so if you're struggling with your marketing at all, or your marketing needs improvement, or you're struggling with consistent client acquisition, there's a gap in your marketing. Something's missing in your marketing. The challenge is figuring out what it is. So this is the problem, because we have so much information, so much advice, so many gurus and trainers giving you all this advice. You've got so many pieces of the puzzle, but it's not more information. It's not another tactic. It's first getting clarity on what's broken, what's not working. What do you need more clarity on? What needs to be refined? And once we can identify that through an audit, then we can give you the specific recommendations to create instant transformation. And that's what you're going to get in this audit. It is going to blow your mind once you get it.
It did mine. I will tell, been perfect. And I've been around, I've been here longer than 6 years. I've had quite a bit of a success. But each time the business expands, it's a good time to do an audit, to know what you've been missing, where can you expand into, what has to now leave because the trends have changed.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this, if you have been in business for a while and you are not making the sales that you used to make, like let alone people, if you're watching and you're brand new and you're still not making sales, fine. But especially to those who know how to shine your light and you've been shining it the way you've always done, but the sales are not coming in, it's probably time for this marketing audit that Norbert is offering. So, Norbert Orlewicz, it is always just pure joy for me to chat with you. And you do shine your light very brilliantly. You're always connected to your mission and your purpose. And to everyone, I say to you, stop being that burnt out searchlight. Get back to your values, your mission, your purpose. Be the lighthouse you are. Stand still and let your audience find you. So always remember, Stacy says, shine on. Take care, everyone. Bye.